Hello, 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 beautiful morning, good day, good night, wherever you are, you most gorgeous star. Hello, hello. So I see seekers in the chat. I will try to possibly say hello to everyone in the chat. If not, I am with you. You are me, and I am you. Together we are harmony, creating the new earth. So it is Friday. 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And normally I am live at this time, and it started way back when with the Emerald Tablets and going through that fun book and exploring ideas. And so I do try to keep up with being live at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hello, Brandon. I see you in the chat. Lovely day. Um, and this morning, because I was not prepared for anything, to give to you all this morning, I said, Courtney, what are we going to talk about? And lately, this has been either in my feed a lot or in conversations a lot, and I believe it's because it's seeping into the collective. The the light workers are kind of waking up, right? And so during that time of the grand awakening that we're walking into and we're walking together, many of them start questioning their role or who they are, what they are, because they can feel the difference. They can feel it. And so I've had many conversations across the board. Like I said, things have been popping up in my feed, probably because of the conversations. Um, it's just a bit more present as to what are these things? Earth angels, angels, period, uh, star seeds, right? Chosen ones, which is a lot of this comes from Dolores Cannon and the work that she did. But there's other people who have always spoken about it. I mean, you could read a ton of Rudolf Steiner stuff that he speaks a lot about things. So that's way precursor to Dolores Cannon, right? Um, so we're going to talk about this today because it is, in my humble opinion, it's because of the shift and change in on our planet and what we refer to as the Great Awakening. And so some of the stuff I that you might hear from other people, I agree with. Some of it I do. Some of it I'm going to express in a different way. The reason why is because let's say I do click on something to be like, what are they going to say about this? And then I might look through the comments, and there's a lot of comments. And so this is not against anyone; it's to bring a bit of clarity to things, because everyone is feeling certain ways, right? And so let's bring some clarity to the possible feelings that we're having through the awakening process. And everybody wakes up differently. Everybody's got different circumstances, different life stuff happening, or awareness comes from a conversation with another light worker, or awareness comes from something they see or hear, even in the news. um, Something comes through that kind of pops them open to all this new stuff, a new um, development of themselves, right? So before we get real into it, I will tell you, I did not draw this card, energetically. I kind of sought out a sacred geometry card for this message. And it is number 26, empowerment. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we all are connected through the same source. I'm going to hold this up, and as I've been doing, I've been adding um, shorts attached to these videos so you could see the cards more clearly. Because, of course, this camera goes kind of in and out of the effects of how deep and rich this sacred geometry can be. So I will attach a short so you can see this card in its entirety and its beauty of the sacred geometry of empowerment. So here at Stars of the Morning Light, if you're new, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for thumbs up and enjoying, right? That tells me that you enjoy it, right? When you hit the thumbs up, I just want to know if you're enjoying things or not. That's, that's kind of my measure. Um, Empowerment, encouragement is the soil of the new earth. And so, if anything, here at Stars of the Morning Light, I try to do that to inspire, encourage, and personal empowerment in others. Because we're all connected, as this card just read to us, that we're all connected. So, everyone, and I'm bringing this up because there's going to be lots of kind of different characteristics and whatnot as we go through the categories of today. Everyone, everyone has their place. Everyone contributes. Everyone is here for the betterment of humanity and the planet. Everyone. And I've said this multiple times, everyone is a part of this system, uh, either 3D or more enlightened ones that are in 5, right? Who have gone through the ups and downs of 4 and are more present in 5. Everyone, even the bad mamma jammas, have a role, have a reason why they're here. So, in this delivery of things, I would like for us to remind ourselves to have compassion for ourselves and others. Compassion for ourselves and others. Um, I have been witnessing in different chats and different, like I said, comments, different out there in the world on the YouTube and just in general population, people are um, a becoming a bit more frustrated with others, more expressive, more nitpicky, more rude. I mean, that's just the best way I can say it is rude. People are becoming rude, and this has been going on, right? But even I'm witnessing it out of those that is not their normal character, right? It's just not their normal state to be offensive and rude and um it's just what it's been. So when I notice that, because it kind of comes in waves, right? This uncharacteristic behavior out of people. Within that, I always understand that it's due to the energies, it's due to the fears within the energies, it's due to the world and life that we live in, right? That especially when we allow our consciousness to play within the chess game of 3D. When we allow that duality, that pride, that ego, that I'm right, you're wrong, to be a part of that chess game that we're playing, instead of lifting ourselves off that game board because there's no reason that we have to be on it. There's literally no reason other than that we continuously do it out of everything is energy, and we get stuck in the propulsion of 3D, right? As we know in physics, propulsion is energy that will not stop unless something stops it. Well, oftentimes, folks, it has to be yourself that stops it, because the propulsion here on in 3D is just the chessboard going back and forth, moving pieces, and we tend to think that we can beat that game instead of elevating off the board, as my master Shri would have spoken about. Um, and so when I witness more people agitated, frustrated, rude, discontent, um, I can only imagine it's because they are participating in the chess game that doesn't stop unless something stops it. And oftentimes it has to be us that stop our own engagement. So I wanted to put that out there, because I'm noticing it, and it kind of tied into why I chose to discuss what I'm choosing to discuss today. Because we all have a role, and it is choice. Either we partake and try to sustain that chess game by playing it, or we elevate off that board knowing that we can create a new, and we are just as important as anyone else. So let's start with earth angels. So I've had this conversation. L- Legitimately, I think I've had this conversation the past 3 weeks 5 different times. 5 different times with different people. So, I have to, notice these synchronicities of having conversations of such. And I see that Lori came in the chat. Good morning, my dear. It's good to see you. Um, Earth angels. There's different degrees of the concept of earth angels, and you can put earth angels into light workers. And I should have probably put a, cap in here, or a topic in here as of light workers, but we're all light workers. That's why I didn't. We all come from the same source, so therefore we all can tap into that beautiful God spark flame and be the light. So that's why I didn't put it in there, because there's not a distinction for me. There's not a separation when I know we all are. Even the bad mama jammas, which I've talked about here extensively, consider it like this when in regards to the bad guys, right? And then I will get into earth angels. Consider it this way: most people in the spiritual environment, they will talk about these things called the dark night of the soul, a transition that is very difficult, and it is a releasing and an accepting, a forgiving, a awakening process that many go through in different stages, right? We all know what a dark night of the soul is, that Carl Jung um, coined the phrase. And I'm a big fan of Carl Jung, in certain respects. So, because we're all intelligent beings here and we know what I'm talking about, right? Well, you can see the bad mama jammas as just as a necessity as a dark night of soul is. I see Lucky Stone 888 has entered the chat. Good day, sir. Happy Friday. He and I will be recording later for tonight's show. Please join us. I paused there to say hello and to have you take that in. The bad mama jammas, you can make them an equivalent to how you have to go through darkness soul to get to the other side. They are just as needed here as all of us. Because if they weren't here, life would be copacetic and um probably we would be creating other kind of energy to stay within that lower chakra area, lower plane of consciousness, fear, greed, um, all of it. They're just the ones that make it easier to create scenarios for us to get out of it. So everyone has their role. So we tend to want to get angry and vengeful, lots of revenge, lots of um, discord because of the bad guys. When in essence, in reality, they're serving a great cause, a great purpose to help us understand that we can elevate off this ridiculous chessboard. We don't have to play the game. And that is what we need in order to create anew. So, I wanted to phrase that in a way to really help people understand that our presence is important for many levels of existence, and it is not to rage and war. It is to level up. And that's why we have things like earth angels, and everyone is a light worker. So, earth angels. I've so had this conversation a lot. Um, they come in different forms and different ways. Some are simply light workers. And the reason why I say this is because that term, like so many terms, is used now in today's society to kind of speak about a variety of people. When you might see things, you might see things that you go, oh, I want to listen to that because it says Earth Angels, and then you listen to the whole 20 minutes, and it's really just describing light workers, the ones that tap into that God spark within, or have lived as many lives to have the awareness of their consciousness and all the quote unquote lessons earned and come through to live that way. They're at a comfortable place of completion within the understanding of their own consciousness. So they're a bit more um, at a higher vibration. But we attach the word earth angel to them. When earth ain't so, and that's fine. I'm just putting some clarity to when you might look at something and watch something and it gives you, I don't know, 7 characteristics of an earth angel. When in reality, they're not necessarily talking about earth angels, they're talking about the potential of all of you beautiful stars. All of you, right? An earth angel there's different forms, right? There is maybe one. We'll take an individual who has lived multiple lives, might have a origin of creation that is some from somewhere else, galactic, who knows? But at some point, either an angelic being did a walk-in situation and maybe lived out a few lives with them and or are present in this life, or because angels do, when we get into angels, they can incarnate. Or I'm not a big fan of the term fractal, but I will use it. Or that a member of the angelic realm, which there are many more than we're aware of than the archetype just angels, the um many more, and we'll talk about when we get to angels. Maybe let's say Ariel was like that one. That one's ready. I'm going to send a fractal of myself, the light, the fractal part of myself, and plant it into that one. And that one is going to be a great teacher for the young. That one's going to do this. That one's going to do that. And so we have many things out there that describe earth angels that is really in essence they're describing light workers and the potentiality that all humans can embrace. You then also have information out there as to what I was just saying. There could be a walk-in situation, there could be fractals of an angel within someone, and or it is a being, a human that has reincarnated, and I do need to express many times. And when I say many times, I mean they've been here for many ending of cycles and beginning of cycles. And you can only imagine how many lives are between cycles, right? Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So many, many lives in between a beginning and an end of a cycle. Imagine someone who's done that 3 times. Um, that being kind of in the Buddhist concept of they are close to the connection of all source and what would be referred to as pure energy. But they are still here for to help humanity, right? So there's many different forms that tend to be under the same title as Earth Angel. That's why I'm trying to give some clarity to this because like I said, I might see these things, click on it, listen for 20 minutes, I'll be like, well, all humans can be that. And then I'll look in the comments, and this is why there's 300, 400, 500 people resonating and saying, yeah, that's me. That's me. Because all humans have the potential to essentially be what is used as the title as Earth Angel. And when we think about our role within the earth, just connected to the earth, that we are from the same source and we all do have that beautiful God spark and light within us. And we were given the opportunity to look over the most amazing planet, Earth, well, then if we see our role as that, well, then how are we not Earth angels? If angels govern for us and we govern for her, well, then how are we not an angel? We're just here doing our part. So when so many people resonate with this stuff, it's because of the grand awakening of us getting glimpses of our potentiality of being part of what is referenced as the new earth, that we all can contribute. And so, lovely stars, as I reference you, you can be an earth angel. It doesn't have to be that an actual angel, any of the angels have either walked in or given you a fractal. It doesn't have to be that. You can be a beautiful earth angel because that is our intended role in the first place. It is. And how we carry that out is we're light workers, as all beings can be. So let's talk a bit about angels, the actual angels, the OG angels. It's interesting because now with the onset of more people uh, discussing aliens and discussing ancient aliens and whatnot, and maybe getting into Hinduism and looking into that, or even South American beliefs. Uh, it's wonderful to me for everyone to be investigating and looking at things. I will tell you, there is a difference between angels and maybe extraterrestrial beings that were also sent. As we keep going through, we're going to then be talking about star seeds and this quote unquote chosen ones. I love that term. As in, I kind of want to just debunk that because you're all chosen. Everyone's chosen. If you are born and you are here right now, it is your birthright, your God given heritage that you are chosen. So I love how that term separates people. We're going to talk about it later because right now we're on angels. The one thing, and I guess I should talk a bit about the conversations I've been having is more how do you access communicating with angels or working with angels or what are angels or um, lots of questions have been presented to me over the past month or two about angels. Most Most. This could be guides, galactic beings, angelic beings, um, crystalline beings of light and love. Let's say unearthly beings. Okay. Same with the Akashic. Things might be presented to each individual, each human, in a way that is receptive to that human. I was with someone just yesterday talking, and they referenced that for them, Michael's sword is blue, Archangel Michael. That for them, they saw that his sword was blue. I said, okay. Like, I'm fine with it. For me, his sword is not blue, it's silver, right? Sometimes it has some gold coming off of it. That's fine that Michael's sword is blue for this person because all of those angelic, um, all of the non-earth beings have the capability of presenting themselves to us humans that are going to resonate with us the most freely for us to understand who they are, what they're capable of, why they want to help, what they want to teach us, what they want to show us. So Uriel might look different for people. All of them might look different. You could maybe see um, Michael as a blonde and I see him as a brunette. You see what I'm trying to say here? So oftentimes, the reason why I'm bringing this up is oftentimes people will begin to question what if it's authentic and real based on what they hear other people's expressions are of what these angelic beings look like to them. It's not going to be the same for everyone. It's truly not going to be the same. Wings might look different, or there are no wings. Metatron might look very different for people. All sorts of beings will look very different. So, what I do want to propose to everyone, let's say in a meditation, you are greeted by what appears in your consciousness to be an angel. Well, a lovely human, lovely star, because we're all connected, you do have the right and the authority to ask, who are you and what are you here for? And if it's an angel, they will tell you. Also, let's say maybe there's astral plane interference and they're trying to trick you. The tricksters out there. Lovely humans, lovely, beautiful stars. You will know the you will know if it's an actual angel by the love frequency that is being emanated. And the one thing oppose to a trickster, right? You'll know, hand to heart, I'm going to feel out this being's energy as I'm asking it who it is and what they're here for. You have all authority to do that. What I do want to say in that respect, some angels, many of them, especially the first few times that you are in contact with them, the energy is intense. Intensity does not mean negative. It can be intense love. It can be intense, somewhat authority, maybe. But within our human construct, we tend to interpret intensity as negative when no, it's just intense. So always you can hand to heart in that meditation, feel out their energy, ask them who they are and why they're here. And you can do that with all things because there is no separation. Because there is no hierarchy, as in you're some low bottom feeder human. Not a thing. Not a thing. In all respect, they respect you, you respect them, you have the authority to do so. It I can't say it any more clear than that. We tend to, because of scripture and ideology, um, we we classify things. And yes, is there maybe a hierarchy to angels, same as there's a hierarchy to demons, same as there's a hierarchy within our social construct from authority of any form. So we're programmed to consider the hierarchy and then for some reason put us ourselves way at the bottom as if we don't have the authority to ask. We do. We have all the authority to ask. We have all the authority to decide if we will or will not, right? We are sovereign beings. We are beautiful stars. We are of the same source. So what's the difference? Why not? And I do want to say that is one of the most complexities as to when we listen, try to learn about angels, try to work with them, is that it is still taught to this day that we are lower species of them. Do we really think that an angel who has come to empower us, and I'll read that card again, from the sacred geometry. Do we really think that a beautiful angel that is just in a different form of existence than us, in a different plane of consciousness and creation, who wants to encourage and empower us and teach us, do we think that they see us as less than? No. There's a big difference between less than and unaware. I'm going to read this card again and I'm going to give just a life this plane of existence example. Number 26, empowerment. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in a deep trust that we all are connected through the same source. Empowerment. Empowerment. As above, so below, as below, so above. The concept of as within, so without did not come into play until New Age did. And there's a reason why, because those who understand know that we create here from inside of ourselves. And when we create here, it affects the above as the above affects us. It's a boomerang. It's lovely, right? So there's no separation as we are all connected from the same source. There are those who understand this and those who might not because we still want to keep ourselves at a lower degree. And in a lot of ways, it's self-serving. In a lot of ways, when we identify ourselves as less than, well, then less than doesn't have to do much. Our souls are not going to allow that for too much longer. They will not allow it. We see the same thing here. So I'm going to give an example of a friend of mine who he recently, this past year, started working for Tesla. He's a machine builder, heavy machine builder. Good friend of mine. This guy can build anything from motorcycles to heavy machines to, I mean, it's how his mind works, right? My mind doesn't work that way. That's wonderful. We all have something to contribute. He started working for Tesla. Now we all know who Elon Musk is, right? We all do. What an innovator. What a force in his own right. But Elon Musk knows that he can't get the job done by himself, right? So we tend to put people, I'm using this in comparison as to how we view ourselves with angels. So kind of go with the metaphor here. Elon Musk, billion, jillion, gillion, tons of money. I don't know how much money that man has. But huge innovator, huge great businessman, what have you. This is not a personal thought as to his character. This is just legitimately he is an innovator and he's at the top of our social structure. Elon Musk knows that in order to make these Tesla vehicles, he needs somebody like my friend. He needs many of people like my friend to build the machines that will build the parts to put the cars together, right? So in our social structure, we put Elon Musk way at the top. If Elon Musk did not hire these people, take care of his employees, because he does, know that he needs to ask for help. He needs to seek out the best. He needs to work towards this stuff with others. If he did not think that way, nothing would get done. Nothing would happen. Nothing would change. None of his innovations, none of his creativity, none of his spark of enlightenment would come into fruition at all. Same as with the angels. So it's kind of like the chicken or the egg, which comes first? Those who are capable or those who have the knowing? I don't know. I say we all just work together. That there is no actual hierarchy to things because Elon Musk would not be Elon Musk if it wasn't for people like my friend who are machine builders. He'd be nothing, right? So my beautiful friend who is a machine builder, he is no lesser or greater than Elon Musk when without him, Elon Musk would have none of his innovations come into being. Same with the angels and us lovely humans, you beautiful stars. The angels are here to guide, protect, show us that we are of the same source, the same light, and that we all have the potential to be earth angels here. So when we talk lesser, greater, hierarchy, we need to be in deep reverence of these angels. It's malarkey. It's malarkey. And I'm getting a little passionate, of course. It's Friday morning. I get a little passionate. It's malarkey because without us, who would they be? Without them, who would we be? So we all are actually on a very equal playing field. The only difference is the consciousness of awareness that they might have that is different than ours. But I will tell you, we understand human suffering and pain different than many of them. When an angel does a walk-in situation and or it can happen, it's kind of rare, a permanent placement within a human form. And it usually is a walk-in situation that stays longer. It is because that angel has taken on a mission to walk in the human form, to be here for other humans, for encouragement, for enlightenment, for the innovation. It is not always. So, difference between earth angels opposed to angelic angels. And when we talk hierarchy as well, because there is hierarchy to the different realms of angels, demons, society, us, what it really represents here in 3D, it represents education, awareness, and resources. It really comes down to resources in many times and a bit of education and awareness as to the possibilities based on the resources that are available, right? This is why we love the human stories of someone creating something out of nothing, the creations out of necessity. We love that because it proves to us that we can as well. But that is usually how our society is developed into some kind of hierarchy, as in resources. Well, once again, that is based on 3D chessboard. I have, you don't, I'm better, you're not, pride, ego, back and forth, the duality of the polarity of things here. In the hierarchy of the angelic realm, it is just their jobs, what they are here to represent or to do. It has nothing to do with one is better than the other, same as here, just based on resources does not make a human better than another human. It's same as here. It's just on the tasks at hand. What are they called to help with? What are they called to do? Same as here. So, it's not a hierarchy because one is better than the other. That's not it. Same as here. I just wanted to make that very clear. Very, very clear that there is no such thing as better or less than in this plane, in angelic planes, in any planes. Everything's based on how we live and what we're called to do. So I hope this made sense to people. I was trying to reference how we are no different. than the angelic realm. How we operate here and how they operate there are mirrors to each other, and we are no different from one another. And the more that we tap into our enlightened state of consciousness and the spark that joins us, the more we can live out as earth angels. So allow the angels to come and communicate and be with you. It's only to serve your highest good. It's only to show you that you are capable of much more than we limit ourselves to. Sorry, I paused there because whenever I hear myself or someone else say the limits that humans put on themselves, there's always a deep pause within me because it's painful to know that beautiful stars will limit themselves based on what? The concept of resources? Well, I think we all know how I feel about that. Moving on to star seeds, because I have more to go through and I'm looking at the clock, folks, and thank you all for coming. I hope the chat is going well. Um, perfect, perfect. What's that? Perfect flight seeker. Good to see you, my dear. Oh, and I am Infinity 13. Good to see you. Happy Friday, everybody. Enjoy, enjoy. So, star seeds. Hmm. Star seeds are not the same as earth angels, light workers, and or angels. Star seeds are more your galactic in origin. They can be walk-ins, kind of like angels can, and they can be always have been present, but different degrees. Or I shouldn't say different degrees. Different. I'm gonna really retract that. I apologize. That is not the word to use. Um, Different missions, purpose, and time frames as to when they have come and showed up. So many people, once again, you might click on something that's 20-minute video, the 10 signs that you're a star seed. And all of them they're beautiful signs. They're great. They might express it as you're a healer, you're an innovator, you're a community builder, you're a, whatever it is how these star seeds in people's minds might look. Or you will get videos out there of describing what the natives would refer to as star seeds, which is what we'll get into more. And what's interesting is a lot of material out there, mostly because Dolores Cannon and some other maybe psychics. She was not a psychic. She just put people through hypnosis and gained information. But there are some psychics out there that talk about this a bit with Edgar Casey, but different in different ways. Um, Referencing more of the galactic beings that come to the planet and incarnate here to help humanity. Now, if you talk with the natives, it would be more apropos that it is a child that is born that is clearly a star seed. Unfortunately, those children usually die young because they are only there for a short period of time. um, in reference to what is referred to as the blue star. I'm probably not going to get into that right now. Looking at the time, please maybe Google, look into the native stories of what the blue star is. Once I get someone to help me with my logo is going to be a blue star because you are beautiful stars. Um, Other videos might reference A time period, more so the boomer time period that references that they are the star seeds. They go into categories of like the boomers or bit of Gen Xers are the star seeds, then into uh the crystalline kids, rainbow kids, all these different kids, right, being born. Starseed did not represent that originally. It did not represent a whole patchwork of children being born in a time frame to help you humanity create the new earth. It was not originally that. Not in any way, shape, or form. It was very selective beings that would incarnate here and or walk in to deliver a purpose and a message and reshape things and just having their presence be there, right? The ones that would be able to establish more communication and compassion and break down the idiocies of hierarchy in a lot of ways when things would become too corrupt. But we're also waiting for somewhat of the ultimate, the blue star. That is more native concepts. In today's world, though, it is very much represented either by a group, like time frame, like I said, of children being born, and or gifts. Here's my thing with that. I personally, I disagree with putting time frames on things like that. That all the kids now are rainbow children. I don't see that as accurate. That all the kids, the millennials, let's say, are the crystalline kids. That's not accurate, as in the representation of that energy in whatever body of form. It's not accurate, in my opinion. We don't just clump beings together, as in, this is the patchwork that created this. This is this. That's not accurate. Are there characteristics amongst the groups of people, generations that are born together? Yes. But also that's environmental. That is a lot of attributes. So I do disagree with the time frames with in regards to star seeds. I'm not even talking about crystalline, I'm not talking about rainbow, right? Um, Star seeds in particular, okay? Those are galactic beings in origin. You could see them as the shiny ones. You could see them as um I'm trying to sorry for the pause. I was thinking that the reason I'm bringing up that I do not see it that way is because A, star seeds are not as common as that representation wants to make it. They're just not as common as an entire pack of generation within that 60% of them are star seeds. That's not accurate. That's not accurate at all. Is there more here on the planet today? Yes, definitely. Definitely. Has it been has it changed to the fact that they will live out a full life to become those innovators, to become those community builders, to become um, those rescuers, those yes. There is a great more on the planet today, and there's also a new one that has just been kinda walking in and popping in, probably also being born in. That's why I don't say these, time frames are accurate. There are ones that, they're just referenced, and it's funny because I thought I was the only one for a long time that knew about this, but others are now witnessing them. They are referred to as the white ones. I mean, just a body that is white. I mean, just white. I don't know how to explain it, it's just white. And white as in, like, this sheet of paper white. I mean, white. It's not, um they are new. They're new to the development here. They are coming from far, 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 far in time and space, and it has just been in the past maybe, decade or so that they're walking in and into beings, and they are being born, hence why I don't go with time frames like that because apparently everybody being born right now is a rainbow child. Well, nope, there's white ones now here. Those white ones very much are coming because of the time we live in and very much are here to assist. And they are extremely rare, but they would still be in the category of starseed. Do you see what I'm trying to get to? Star seeds would be galactic beings who have either lived a few lives here, could be multiple lives, especially if your origin is that and you keep choosing to be a human, or it's a they just came. They're here for a very direct mission. So, once again, I bring this up because people resonate with the concept of star seeds. Everybody thinks they're a star seed. Once again, this is not to, I'm not in any way diminishing someone's awakening process. I think what happens is when we start to awaken to the light within, because it feels so magical and alive and more awareness of we can lift off this ridiculous game board of 3D, we tend to strive for more understanding. And within that understanding and that seeking, we open ourselves up to a lot of things to be transmitted um, that don't have the full awareness to them. And then we try to put ourselves into that category. So it's fascinating that I see tons of people referencing themselves as star seeds. Um, when in essence, like we said at the very beginning, you might not be a star seed, but are you an earth angel? Yes, because that is the human potentiality. That is what your spirit is trying to wake you up to. Now, does being an earth angel feel like a bit unique, a bit different? So when we hear things about star seeds, we tend to then maybe latch on to them. And then when we find out, as I just said, there's many more on the planet today to help in the evolution of humanity into the new earth. Yes, but let's have a clear understanding that our role, no matter who we are, galactic in origin, carrying a fractal of an angel, a star seed, whoever, we truly, when we're sincere with ourselves after understanding and sitting with ourselves, whoever we are exactly where I wanted to end this. We are a chosen one. We all are earth angels. We are all chosen. So I see this stuff out there referencing chosen ones. I don't like that term. because chosen ones tends to create some kind of separation when there is none. When we reference things like that, "Oh, they're the chosen ones. Oh, that's the chosen one." It's the same as even in family dynamics. "Oh, that's the good kid. That's the chosen one." What? How crazy is that? When if you are born right now, if you are alive right now, you are chosen. All of us are chosen. All of us have infinite potential, infinite potentialities that we can choose from in our own sovereign chosen one state, right? I'm a chosen one, you're a chosen one, everybody's a chosen one. So we get to choose how we want to live out our oneness, right? So I left it with the chosen one concept because that term alienates so many, but yet so many people that I see in comments here, there, conversation, they reference themselves as a chosen one. And first, when this started coming into play, that I would see, my first reaction was, well, in the context of the material, not exactly. But then I'd say, but you are chosen because you all are. And that is what everyone is feeling. Everyone is feeling how they are chosen. In the 3D, in that chess game, though, it is sad to witness that based out of their spiritual, um, I'm looking for the right word for this, and somewhat spiritual narcissism, somewhat spiritual, it's really spiritual debauchery, in my opinion. I was trying to look for a right word. I apologize for that pause. In a spiritual awakening movement, many can get on some kind of high horse, superiority. And when terms like chosen one are readily available to use, many grab hold of that because what they're really trying to do is accept that we are chosen and that you do have all of these potentialities. But it tends to in 3D because of the polarity, because of the different degrees, because of the duality of things. It then turns into I am right and you are wrong. I am chosen and you are not. I am higher on the hierarchy than you are. And I'm seeing a lot of that. It is disheartening to see that that is becoming more accepted within someone's own development. I know that it's just a phase. I know that rational thought and thinking and reason and coming to the fact that we are all of the source will happen. But I do think we need to measure ourselves against our own heart to see what our heart is saying, to see what our heart says, hey, You are an earth angel. You are a chosen one. How do you want to represent your light? Instead of spiritual superiority, more your heart wants the chosen one in you to work with the chosen one of all. So I'm going to read this card one last time. 26, empowerment, encouragement, the new earth, the new earth that everybody speaks about. And I'm probably, maybe next Friday, I'll just talk about the new earth. It'd be great. I'm doing my new earth energy market April 27th and 28th in Ringgold, Georgia, holistic fair, belly dancing at 3 p.m., food trucks, tons of, it's just great. It's a great vibe. It's a great time. If you're anywhere near Chattanooga, Tennessee, if you're anywhere in the Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia area, come on through. You'll see what New Earth can really feel like when people work together. Teamwork to usher in the new earth is our tagline. Teamwork to usher in the new earth. And you have an entire market that is not based on competition and greed, but a knowing that each one of us, our skills, talents, gifts, can thrive in society, regardless of appearance of economic whatever, that everyone can thrive in a society based off of their talents, skills, and gifts, especially when greed and competition are not involved. That is New Earth. That is a part of the New Earth. So come and join us. It's different. It's a different kind of frequency vibration than most people have ever experienced at any fair. And like I said, the soil of the new earth is encouragement, empowerment. That is what we plant all those seeds in. So, if anything, before I read this card again, I'm hoping that this message delivered that to you, that you are a chosen one, that you are an earth angel because you have all of the potential to live your life as one. That is why we were created in the first place. This our energy in this body and body of form is here to walk this land gently as an earth angel. So I hope this has encouraged you to know that you have the authority that when an angel approaches, you can ask them, "Hey, what are you all about? Who are you really? What are you here to do?" Because you are a beautiful sovereign being that comes from the same source. They don't find it disrespectful because there is no hierarchy. That is a illusion created in 3D. There is no such thing. The only difference is the mission entailed. That you are a chosen one. That you are here to walk as an earth angel, light worker. That when we go within and ask our heart, who am I really? Do I fit into any of these categories? I can guarantee you that heart's going to say, yeah, you're chosen. You're alive. This is why I love birthdays so much. Anybody who's birthday coming up, anybody who had a birthday this year, anybody who's going to have a birthday. I love birthdays, and it has nothing to do with checking time and marking time. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with that's the day you chose to come. That's the day you chose to grace us with your presence. That's the day that you said, "Hey world, I'm here to walk on this earth gently. I'm here to be that earth angel. I've been chosen and here I am." That's why I love birthdays, because it's we're all beautiful individuals that walk this awakening together. And together makes all of us the chosen one. Number 26, empowerment. The frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we all are connected through the same source. I will do a short to this video so you can see the sacred geometry more so. So beautiful stars, you lovely stars, all connected as the stars in the sky, the stars below. We walk this earth shining and glowing and being the light. I will be recording with Lucky Stone 888. So if you are able, join us for a pre-recording release at 8 p.m. tonight on Friday. Have a lovely weekend. Have a lovely weekend. Spend some quality time with yourself and know that you are chosen. Know that you are chosen. It's why you are here. Bye, everybody.